Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Imola for round 4 here at RFL. My name's Casper, happy to be with you all. As always, here for round 4, we're still in Europe. Portimao last week, and now we've got Imola. And if Portimao's anything to go by, it's going to be a very, very good race. Remember, it's short qualifying and a half distance race coming your way, as is the standard in RFL. There's no sprints this season. Very long calendar, 21 league races, with a bit of a mid-season break, of course. After, I think, about round 12. But we're here in Imola, in Italy. One of two Italian racetracks, one of three that we've had in the past 5 years or so. Because, of course, don't forget, we had Mugello in 2020. Remember 2020 when we had Mugello? That was an interesting one. I would love to see Mugello come back. But anyway, we're in Imola, of course. A lot of history behind this track. Not all of it good. A lot of history regardless. That partly makes it one of the more popular racetracks on the calendar. But let's go for a lap on board and see what Imola truly is like. With LTK Harrier doing well, very well these past couple of races. As he blasts past the King Kong 1 into turn 2 at Tamburello. Over the sausage curbs on the inside. Need to be careful. Turn lap 1 into there is going to be really interesting. Into Villeneuve chicane at 5 and 6. Again, cutting the inside pretty heavily on both apexes there, through to Tosa at 7. Uphill hairpin. Sort of an overtaking opportunity into there, but not really. As now into Piratella at 9, and then the kink afterwards at 10. And then we're downhill through into Acqua Minerale, one of the more iconic sections on this racetrack. Into the chicane Variante Alta, I think it is. A bit of a track problem on traction, fastest middle sector, but again, that's partly by virtue of actually not everybody having completed a lap. Haas in the way. Could be Charlie, could be Luz. As into the Rivazza, slightly wide, and that's that lap and the next lap done as well. He's going to be coming into the pits as well, but it would have been a half decent lap there by LTK Harrier. Unfortunately not to be. So what Lord James is going to be doing as he comes downhill towards the Rivazza, 2 corners, keeps it just about within track limits. First man to cross the line with a valid time. As he tries to cut as much of the track off. It's 15-0 after the first lap. That's immediately bettered by F1 New Zealand, who goes to a 14-5. TLC Deton coming our way now as well. Skull Killer into third place, 16-1. So plenty of time to make up for the second Alpine, cutting it nicely through the chicane here at the top of the hill. Then is plunging down towards the double left-handers here at the Rivazza. The first slightly tighter than the second, but exit is crucial as there's only one DRS zone, and it's out across here. Deton 5th fastest, slowest of all the cars so far. See where Rizzlers, I think Rizzlers has just started a lap. As Charlie goes into 5th place. See what Kirby's doing. We weren't sure if he was going to actually be coming tonight. But he is on the way. Lap invalidated, as well as Vapid as Sam is in place. So we're up to 18 cars to qualify and to race, which 18 around here is going to be really, really tight. Down towards Acqua Minerale for Craig in the RB, the Soul RB tonight. Should mention Vibes is also the sole what's it called? Sauber tonight as well. So I can't see where the other one is. No, Sam is in the RB, so there's just one Sauber, and I think There's 2 Ferraris, 2 Alpines, 2 Mercedes, 2 Red Bulls, 2 Williams. We'll find out soon enough. Rizzler's up to the line. Goes to 6th place, 16.199. So that F1 New Zealand time is looking ever better. As Deaton comes across the line again, going again, one would imagine. DRS wide open, coming through the kink at 1 now. Very close to Gasjar as he's coming out of the pit, riding the sausage curbs. Again, you're not going to see that in the race, because that's just going to cause even more damage than what you need. Ooh! Whoa! Ooh, back end loses it through. Villeneuve, under braking, manages to keep out of the wall just about. Good save by Deaton. Unfortunately, this lap is not really worth anything at all now. But at least he's got a banker lap on the board, so he's not going to be last at the moment. Vibes invalidates, LTK Terrier invalidates, Angelo on an out lap, Vapid on a valid lap, however. Second place in Bahrain at the start of the season, and has continued his good run of forms. Into the pits he comes. Careful! Careful there, Vapid. Goodness me. That's not how you're meant to be braking into there. Right, Luz even. I'm probably going to get that mixed up. Invalidates through Piratella. Charlie on a valid lap with 11 minutes left to go. See what he can do as he comes up to the line. 14.5 to beat. He's not going to beat it, but he's going to go to 5th place. Ups his time by 0.3 of a second into the 15s. What about Lord James? Perfect timing. As he crashes into the wall. That is going backwards also on the exit of Aqua Minerale. Bashes the back end as well. That could be considerable damage. As he manages to wheel spin his way out of the exit, and F1 New Zealand's back on track again. Kesjar's invalidated already as he comes up to Piratella. What about Angelo here? I got invalid with a fastest sector 2. I'm trying to see who H is a baller is. I think that would be Luz, because Charlie's already put in a time. In goes Angelo. LTK Terrier being hit with track limits as well. Tom Gorian we're on board with. Very quick, speedy into Villeneuve, not quite taking the racing line, taking a much tighter line through that second apex in the chicane. And again, I'm not particularly a racer, but I know the racing lines somewhat around here. And there we go, cutting the inside of Piratella. That's your lap done and dusted. He did. I was chatting with him earlier this week, and he did say himself, this isn't a particular favourite of his. He doesn't usually do all too well around here. Which, going by that quality lap, proof of concept. There's championship standings, there's championship standings. There we go. That's what I was looking for. F1 New Zealand coming up to start another lap. Current pole position sitter. What about Kirby? He's coming through now down towards Rivatsa. Very easy to hit track limits. If you hit track limits through Rivatsa, that's this lap and your next lap done as well. At least thankfully you can very easily peel into the pits. But it's not an ideal position to be in. Not going too wide is the American as he comes up to the line now. Valid lap. 14.5 to beat. He comes up with a 16.9 into 8th place at this point in time. Lord James improves to a 14.7. That was last time around. Whoa! Villeneuve is not a popular area for some of our drivers, as Vibes does spin out as well, as we saw. I think it was Luz doing the exact same thing. Speaking of, he's on an invalid lap, so he's probably just trying to warm up his tyres at the moment. Because let's go in 5th place. Doing quite well at the moment. 4th place in the championship, 39 points to his name. Don't particularly think he'll be mounting a championship challenge because the 2 Ferraris have absolutely peeled away with it. But best of the rest could very easily do that. He's only 2 points behind Tom Gorian. You've got Rizzler behind in the championship, 5th place, and Angelo 6th. That's how your top 6 sits in the championship at the moment. As Vapid puts in a 15-7, that's over a second down on his teammate. And he is 12 points down in the championship. Lord James could be pulling away here. And that would be very, very unfortunate for the lower Ferrari at this point. Skullkiller comes into the pits. Lord James improving by 2/10 through the first sector, keeping it nice and clean into Piratella, now down towards Aqua Minerale. Need high commitment into here. He keeps it. Oh, I thought he was going to lose it on the exit there, but he manages to keep it within 2.25 tenths is the gap. I was thinking that he was going to hit track limits through Variant Alta, not to be. And here we go up to the Ravazza complex now. He could be taking pole position here with 6 to go. And F1 New Zealand would need an answer as here he comes up to the line, 14.5 to beat. And he puts in a 14.313. Brilliant stuff by last season's champion. As he comes into round 4 with even more to prove, trying to pull away from his teammate, which is currently in 7th place. All right, Kesjar hasn't actually set a time yet. We've got 5 drivers that haven't. Sam Vibes, LK Tarrier, Angelo and Kesjar, only 2 of which are out at this point in time, being Sam Vibes and Angelo in the pits. Kesjar up to the line. He's setting a valid time, 17.221. Into 11th place in that mid-pack, and around here it's not really what you want, especially with how tight and how close the barriers really can be. Old Imola was really dangerous. Thankfully it's much less so nowadays, but it's still not a circuit that you want to be exposing yourself to danger just because of what can happen. I suppose, but let's not get down to the negatives. Look, James has pole position at the moment with 2 Alpines in lockstep in 2nd and 3rd behind him. Craig 4th, JB 30.33 in 5th, Kizlesko in 6th, Vapid 7th. Crucial for the championship if he stays there. Charlie 8th, Rizzler's 9th, Kirby 10th, Kesher 11th, Deton 12th, Tom Gurian 13th, Luz 14th, Sam 15th, Vibe 16th, LTK Tarrier 17th. And Angelo 18th. The last 4 haven't actually set time. Vibes is out on track, and Rizzler's is also, we've just been looking on board with him for the last half a lap. Where's he going to go? Is he going to improve his time? Yes, he does, with a position as well. 4/10, only 1 spot though, upper row however, into 8th place is the Aston Martin. As now he's actually 11 thousandths behind Vapid, which is pretty good going. In previous races, we've seen Vapid have a lot of pace. But here comes Deton. He's a second up after the first sector. Could be fighting here for pole position if he can keep it up through the 2nd and 3rd sectors. Comes into Aqua Minerale. He was very good on the exit of Piratella moments ago. 2nd sector triggers just about now. And he's 1.2 up, so not quite going to be fighting for pole position, but could be trying to get himself into that top 10 very, very easily. Exit Variante Alta, fastest middle sector as well, comes to mind for Deton as there's yellow flags on track. That's through the Variante Alta as the other McLaren, because Lesko is going a little bit slowly. Deton 17.4 to beat his personal best. 16.5 gets him into the top 10, and a 15.8 puts him in 9th place as well. Nicely done by the 2nd McLaren. See what SFR F1 New Zealand can do. 114.3 to beat, and he puts in a 113.937. That is one hell of a marker set by, I'm guessing, a New Zealander. Talk about topsy-turvy. Oh my word. Vibes in play as well. He's setting a valid time. He's going to go to 11th place, 16.0. Just misses out on that top 10 spot. Sam, LT, Terry and Angelo also out on track and in play. As there's plenty more cars on out laps as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least cars that are on out laps. And I think Sam's just started his as well as we're approaching the final runs here in qualifying. JB 30-33 we're looking on with. Currently on no points. Kershaw, the only Williams point scorer for that team. As he's hoping to put some points on the board for himself. Vibes 6/10 up through the first sector. Could put him towards the top 6 if he can continue it. Traffic in the way. Invalid lap. Can go again if he wants to. He's got the time. He could probably do 2 laps. Actually, that's probably a bit of an overstatement. But regardless, Kirby's retired from the session. 16.9 is the best that he thinks he can do. Tom Gorian starting another lap due to invalidating his previous. What about Sam? He's 52.2 after 2 sectors. And he's coming down now to the exit of Variant Elton to the entry of Rivatsa, the first of the 2 corners in that complex. SFR F1 New Zealand has retired, and understandably so. We'll jump to Lord James, see what he can do to take pole position away from that Ferrari, from that Alpine even, in just a second. 19.007 is the time set by Sam, but what can Lord James do? Can he beat him? No, not quite. He could go again. He's only up by 1/10 and a little bit on his personal best. Is he going to go again? Does he have the energy? I don't think he is, because he's holding onto that left-hand side. He's slowed down. So that is his pole position charge done and dusted. The only person that probably could knock him off is Skullkiller. But even then, a second over a lap on this circuit is difficult, especially because he's just invalidated. And I do believe this could be his final lap. We can't see the timing. Yeah, that's it. That's his final lap. We're on 12 seconds to go. Craig in 4th place. Angelo is still yet to set a time, but he's on a lap. We'll check on him if he's invalidated in a little bit. 1/4 second up is Craig, so could get himself on the front of that second row with the fastest middle sector as well. Pardon me, hiccups have come to me at the worst possible time. As now into Rivatsa we go. Nice and clean. It's going to be a valid lap as we come across the line now. Is he going to get onto that front, top of that front second row? No, not quite, but he ups his time. JB not improving. Kislesko is improving, however. What about Angelo? I think Angelo's just about to cross the start-finish line. Where's he going? Angelo goes to 8th place. Very nicely done by the Italian. Kislesko 1/4 second up still after the first 2 sectors. Lord James retires from the session. Deaton ahead of him, trying to catch the draft if he can. As into Rivatsa they go. Teammates working together, hand in hand. Is now up to the line. What can Kislesko do? He's in 6th place. Needs a minor improvement to get into 5th. And he gets into 4th. Nicely done. Well done, Kislesko. Gets himself on that second row, nudges Craig off it, and that's it. So SFR, F1 New Zealand, takes pole position by, what's that, 1/4 second, give or take? Ahead of Lord James. Skull Crusher is a second behind pole position. But the big story is Vapid is nowhere near the top 5. That's a big old story. In fact, he's not even in the top 10. That is big. 2nd place in the championship in 11th. 1st place in 2nd. Is this going to play out the way that Lord James wants? Or is Vapid the Scotsman going to be able to catch up and salvage what he can out of this session? We'll see if we can chat to 1 or 2 of them in a minute, but we've got the full half-distance race coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Right, what I'm going to do is invite Angelo. See if he's down for a driver interview. Hello, Angelo. How are you, my friend?
Sad because I'm disappointed.
I mean, what's that, 8th place?
10th. It's 10th.
10th.
10th. Yeah.
How are you hoping for that to go?
Just don't crash, I guess. Don't get damaged. As long as I don't get damage on lap 1, I should be good.
What were you expecting in qualifying? Because if you're sad with 10th, what were you sort of expecting?
So I did in single play at least, same quality conditions, same car, same setup. I did a 14.5. So yeah, I'm 1.2 seconds off of that for some reason. But it is what it is. I'm gonna do the best I can with what I have. But it's a trend this season. I never start far at the front. I've always started at the further back. It's just how it is in this game. But
yeah,
performance-wise, and I prefer race. Car feels better in race trim, so at least
fair
that.
enough. Talk to me about the start of your season. Because 6th place, 25 points. Is there anything just off those first 3 rounds that you think you could have done better, or places where you've missed an opportunity?
Not get penalties at Portimao because that cost me a podium. However, pace-wise, that setup was terrible. I was understeering all over the place, but I was still happy with the result. Could be better. But today I'm hoping to do something like I did in Bahrain. So hopefully that goes well. But then again, as long as I don't get damage, I should be good. And apparently, there's nice cheeky information for you. We're going to have rain at the end of the race.
Ooh! Now, doesn't that throw the cat amongst the pigeons?
Indeed, it does.
Well, I've got just one more question for you because I know you've got to go and set up and all that stuff. Who do you think could be a shoe-in for the championship? Because we know that the 2 Ferraris are 20 points clear of Tom Gorin, but do you think there's anybody that could be making a sneak run for it towards the end?
If Finns wakes up on time, then he's going to put the spanner in the works for Ferrari. But I think today it's going to be between James and Finns. Tarja is far back, Tom is far back, Vapid is far back, he's behind me actually.
Yeah, Vapid in 11th.
Yeah, so yeah,
That's big.
Got his lap invalidated at the end there, so it's a bit... Yeah, we're about sort of equal pace-wise, but much left to be desired after that qualifying, both of us.
All right, mate. I'm not going to keep you much longer because I know you've got to go. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon, mate.
Thanks. Cheers. Have a good one.
Have fun.
See ya.
You too. Bye-bye. There you go. We do love a good driver interview. Let's have a look at tyres at the moment. Mostly hards and mediums. Vapid opting for an early set of softs to try and get as close as he can to the 2 competitors at the top. Hards at the start for the top 4, and then it's another set of mediums, and then more hards. It's sort of in waves of mediums and hards, really, in various different setups. Let's just have a look what's happening in Discord. We go at 32, so we should be going soon. If you want to catch more racing action here in International Paddock, you can always catch Masters. That's going to be on tomorrow night at Spain with ERC. That's always a good watch. Monday night, we've got 2 more races with Supercharged as the formation lap is underway. I'm never sure. There's some leagues that do, some leagues that don't. So I'm always ever slightly worried. With that, Supercharged, you've got 2 races at Bahrain and Jeddah, 25%. That'll be on Monday. Tuesday, Simtech F2 comes back in play. They've got another race going on at... where are they at actually this week? This coming week, Simtech. The Hungaroring. That's Simtech F2 on Tuesday and F1 on Thursday on Paddock_Blue. We've also got Paddock_Red if you want to try and find all of our channels. But let's have a look back at what's actually happening tonight, because tonight is arguably more important at the moment than the other leagues that we've got at the moment. Let's have a proper look at what the guys have put on for tyres. Craig's gone for the hard tyre right at the very end, just as they were about to press go, as I put on the lights, because it is past 8 o'clock. It is currently, well, 25 to 9. It is getting a little bit dark in the UK where I'm broadcasting, in London specifically, where I'm broadcasting this from. But these guys are however many hundred miles away in Italy, in Imola, of course. Overtaking spots, generally Tamburello at 234 is the best spot. However, you can get something alongside towards Rivazza. You could possibly continue a battle up through past the chicane at Tamburello into 5 and 6 at Villeneuve towards Tosa. You can go side by side through that whole section, but then going too wide through Acqua Minerali is a death wish. Look how far to the right Fins is, as Angelo lovely called him. He's really trying to go for that very, very straight line so that he can get the best exit that he possibly can. Just wait for a couple more drivers just to line up a little bit further back. He's got 18 cars. Tom Gorian's at the back of the field. DRS is disabled, and it will be re-enabled at the start of the next lap. 5 red lights are on. And they're away. A really poor start for Fids. An opportunity for Lord James as they go side by side. He's going to take the lead as we come towards at 2, 3 and 4. He's side by side a little further back. Kislesko, JB. What's happened there? Is that Kislesko? Yes, it is. I think it's Kislesko. He's lost the front wing there. Gone sideways and then straightened up by another car. He's lost half his front wing. And now he's side by side with his teammate Deaton, who would be foolish not to let him pass. Then are side by side further back. With Luz, there's a Sauber off track, that's Vibes, as he also gets passed by Kestra. It's too wide, and there's more tracks, more cars off track as well. That's Rizzler, that's JB 3033, I think, who's again lost a bit of front wing. I think a bit of Rizzler's was involved as well. But crucially, Vapid hasn't actually made any moves. It's still 2 wide, 3 wide into Acqua Minerali. What have we got here? There's Tom Gorian trying to get past Rizzlers, but Rizzlers again hasn't quite got a full front wing. The 2 McLarens are fighting side by side. Vibes and Vapid are going 2 wide again through Varianti Alta. Vibes gets past Kislesko, but Kislesko again hasn't quite got a front wing. There's Vapid also. Kislesko trying to defend, but Vapid does get alongside. What a chaotic first lap we've had here at Imola. Oh my great heavens. Change for third as well, possibly. We're on board with Craig's going to try round the outside. He's just about got the space. Oh ho ho! What happened there? Contact with Skullkiller forces his nose in. That's Craig's win, possibly podium challenge done and dusted. He's now down in 13th place. That's an RB at Red Bull even, going wide. That is Kirby. LTK Terry's left the session again. I'm not quite sure what's happening with him. He's left the session and then come back and then left again and then come back. Not quite sure what's happened. The 2 RBs are fighting further back. Sam and Craig for 12th and 13th are on board with Luz as they come into Acqua Minerali, almost making contact with the Alpine. Very much in a sandwich is the Ferrari-powered car. And here comes Deaton. Right on cue. Can he make it round the outside of Varianti Alta? He's giving it a go. Forces Luz off track. Angelo looks for a move. He's now side by side. forced on the grass there by Luz. Bit of a dodgy move there, I think, by the Haas. Deep goes Vibes, through goes Angelo. Once again, a second lap where there's been so much happening. I can't even mention that Lord James, the championship leader, has pulled out a second on Fins. Let's go on board with Vibes trying to get past Angelo, who leaves him the space. Does he get past? He's still side by side, deep into Tamburello. Possibly a bit of damage to that floor now as he clatters over the curbs. So let's go on board now with Luz. There's to battle second place as well. That's Tom Gorian going off track through Tamburello. Is now into Tosa for the third time in this race. What the hell was that start? Oh my god. Yellow's in the second sector. I think that's just a slow car. Craig's lost a couple of positions. Probably a mistake on Tosa exit. As now they come through Aqua Minerali again for the third time. Lord James and Fins have got a second of a gap between each other, but 8.5 seconds to the chasing pack, which is led by Skullkiller. Behind him, 1.6 is Charlie, then Deton, Luz, Angelo, Vibes, and Vapid in Stowe. And again, Vapid has not quite made the progress that he would have wanted. He's now up to 8th place because of Charlie's pit stop. As now they come across the start-finish line once again. Trying to get past Lord James is Fins. Here comes Angelo out of nowhere. Brilliant speed being shown by the Red Bull. We were talking with him in between quali and the race, as here comes Luz as well. Not quite got the speed, has the Haas, but Angelo liking the car in race trim. Not quite in quali, but in race trim. I think he's very partial to a bit of Red Bull. Oh, great heavens. Well, we're on lap 4, 29 to go. And now Angelo's trying to fight Deton for 4th place. LTK Terrier is back in business. Although he's been in, out, he might as well be the hokey cokey with him. Sam picks up the first 3 seconds for track limits. As now towards Revacta for 4th time we go, because leaders have started lap 5. Yes, there's already a massive gap between the leaders and the pack behind. So there's a little bit of a problem for traction on Deton's part, and Angelo does get past. Fins also gets past Lord James. That is for actually the lead. Believe it or not, ladies and gents, we're on board with Deton. Does he get past by Vibes? No, not quite. But this is a sight of an Alpine in the lead, finally for the first time since the poor getaway that he had. Fins is in the lead. Luz takes 3 seconds again. Well, not again, as well. Because the first time he's picked one up in this race so far, as these pair managed to clamber their way through Aqua Minerali again for lap 5. Let's jump back to 3rd, 4th and 5th. And 6th actually as well. Because they are incredibly close. So much happening. If I can't quite catch your fight, I can only apologise. Because, oh my word. Game's cooked, not letting me drive. Is LTK Terrier. That is unfortunate. As there's a change in the lead once again. What's happened there? Skullkiller! Safety car in play. Oh, that is unfortunate. He was actually doing relatively well. He can come into the pits to his credit. It wouldn't be a bad idea. As the leaders are coming to Tosa, so they're not going to quite catch the safety car this time around. Let me see if... Let's drop that in there. See if he's down for that. Well, unfortunate for Skull Killer. Oh, that's unfortunate. Right, F1 New Zealand has come into the pits, has Fins. So he's going to be losing a good couple of positions trying to make a free pit stop under safety car. As I'm chatting with LTK Terrier right now, he doesn't seem to be able to get back behind the wheel, and it's unfortunately a pretty common problem. We had this in UCR last night with Small Girl. So it's not particularly a surprise that he's going through that, as there's plenty of changes as well. More cars in the pits, Charlie's in the pits, Kirby's in the pits. They're going to be peeling down towards the bottom of that field, as the cars really have been strung out by the leaders, as they now come up. Where the bleeding hell are you? What happened there? That's your top three at the moment. Lord James, Angelo and Vibes, with Fins just coming through the Variante Alta. At least I think it's a Variante Alta. So what's happening with LTK Terrier? He's sort of really lagging out. Are they going to have to try and give the position back? I don't think they will. Not quite fully sure what's happening there. I can't say I quite understand. There's plenty more cars coming further behind. Trying to give a static shot like that, something so that it is actually showing multiple cars, is a massive pain. But again, shoddy F1 TV camera work, what can I say? You'd think they've had so many games to figure out how to make it look proper, but that's besides quite the point. Let me pop the Twitch. Ow, that was a mistake. Pop the Twitch stream on here so I can see what is cracking. Yes, I'm very aware that I can earn rewards by doing something with Apple TV. I'm very aware, but I don't want Apple TV. I'm good. But if you do want some Apple TV, there's obviously the promotion. So do give us a subscription. I think it's running until the 19th, maybe. And of course, you'll miss out on all the ads, which is always a blessing in disguise. Tom Gorian coming through. Variante Alta and now Rivazza in 12th place. We've got another lap under, safety car coming your way as LTK Terrier is dropping even further. I'm not quite sure what's happening with that Mercedes. I think it's somehow glitching out in some way, shape or form. Let me check something. .58.3 was his last lap time. Or 44.3. I think he was still trying to catch up there. And there he goes. Again. Oh, it's a really weird one. First time I'm seeing anything like that. Huh. And there's poor old Sam, the only car to have not caught up to the rest of the safety car pack. He's catching to his credit, but not by really enough to be making a difference. I think Harry does put himself back in 16th place. But again, he's got his teammate right behind, and his teammate does let him pass, but I honestly don't know what's happening at this point. Our safety car is in this lap. I don't think Sam's quite going to catch up, well, he might be able to. Depends how fast he's coming through this section. We're on board with Angelo in second place at this point in time. And actually, let me just wait for the ads to finish up. Well, we're on board with Angelo in second place. Safety car's coming in this lap. Sammy's going to catch up. We weren't sure if he was going to, but there's Lord James. The safety car's still not quite in the pit lane, so he's not safe to go fully as yet. There's Lord James. There he goes. Doesn't catch Angelo out, really. Bit of a problem on traction, but he's made it past and he's made it work, and he could be taking the lead here in Imola. He's closing, he's got Vibes right behind him as well. We're on board with the Sauber. Does he go down the inside? He looks, he fakes, does not go for it for his own sake. Finn's a little further behind, so we've got this pack of 4 already peeling away here on this first safety car restart. I assure you, we're not under safety car. I know it says safety car on the top left hand side under the lap counter, but we're not under safety car. Rizzler's ahead of JB, but they're still fighting a little further back. That's for 10th place overall. He could also be losing a position now to Craig and Skullkiller. Contact with the Williamses as F1 New Zealand does take 3rd place, or does he? Will stay on board with this little battle here. The 2 Williams are going at it. Craig gets past Rizzler around the outside. That's for 11th place overall. In fact, Craig again is trying to make a move into Aqua Minerale. Not quite able to. Great traction off of Pirotello. Now he could be looking to get past Kesjar for 10th place. He's hounding the back of the Williams. He's losing a position though. Is Rizzler's to Skullkiller, and Skullkiller has got a lot of pace. You're going to want to get out of that stat if you want any hope of trying to catch up back to the top. The DRS is re-enabled after the full safety car that we just had. Finns is catching. He's catching. Does he go for against the Red Bull? He thinks better of it for his own sake. As we look back behind him, he's got Vibes, he's got D-Tron within just over a second of each other. Vapid is 2 seconds further back as through goes F1 New Zealand. I think that was just a move that was possibly just given to him, although I don't want to fully say that that's what I think. As we're on 22 to go now. About the third of the way into this race. Listen, I know it says safety car in the top left, but believe me, we are not under safety car conditions. As we are here in Imola for round 4 of 21. In, I like to call it SFR, RFL. And now we come down into the downhill section. Yellow's in the 3rd sector. That's for Kesjar, who's lost plenty of position, and he's down and out of play. Fastest lap by Finn, 16.8 is his benchmark. We're on board with D-Tron. Does Vibes go for it down the inside of turn 1? Yes, he does. Is he still going to have the position towards turn 2? Also, yes, he is, as he does get past Luz, past Vapid as well. So Vapid still losing positions. Did Vapid pit for tyres? Yes, he did. Improvement regardless on where he was at the start of the race. Nowhere near what he needs to try and mitigate the damage. He's already 12 points down coming into this event on the championship leader, which is also, perchance, his teammate. JB passed Kozlesko on the exit of Tosa. So Kozlesko not quite having the day that he probably would have hoped. Sam picks up 3 seconds again for track limit. Behind him is Skulldigger 1014. As Kirby also picks up 3 seconds. This mid-pack battle could be quite interesting. There's also Charlie Tongorian and Rizzlers within a second of each other thereabouts. Kirby getting involved as well. He's not very far off at all. But let's jump to the top. Does Angelo regain his position? Yes, he does. Does D-Tron try? He looks, he thinks. But again, discretion better part of Valor tries to keep his car for a later day. Maybe just for the last lap, a little bit of damage. Doesn't hurt nobody. Ooh, vibes going slightly deep into Tosa. Opportunity for D-Tron. The space was there, but he didn't quite go for it. And now we're on 20 to go. We're almost halfway here in Imola. D-Ton looking at the back end of Vibes. That's for 4th place. As well, there's this little, well, not quite little, but there's this train here going from 6th to basically 14th of cars that are within very, very close range of each other. One of the closest is this man, because he's got a massive gap. Well, he had a massive gap before his mistake brought out the yellow flag by absolutely destroying his own front wing. Can he get past? Because let's go ahead of him. He's got the drive. Can he actually make it stick though? Tom Gorian ahead of Craig. These two are fighting, and he's got past well before the braking zone for Tamburello. So much better exit out of Ravazza for the Mercedes. And now they come through Villeneuve, the left kink before the right corner. You sacrifice braking going into the chicane so that you can get a much better line through and into Villeneuve 2, which then sets you up for Tosa, which again, a little bit of a good exit is required coming through there. Craig, BR06, picks up 3 seconds for track limits, as Kozleskos dropped to outside of a second. Whoa, what, JB? Mistake for JB on the exit of Variante Alta. Pardon me. As now we come out onto the start-finish line once again here in Imola. We're on board with Skullkiller. He's going to very easily get past Kozlesko down the front straight. JB picks up 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Again, a hefty penalty which was increased this year. Tom Gorian also looking for a move on Kozlesko. Gets past under braking as Vibes gets past as well. Gets taken advantage of by Vapid and Luz. Vapid up to 5th. So again, Vapid just trying to manage the damage that his qualifying session produced. Now down towards, loses the car a little bit, does Vibes, is up towards Ackerman O'Reilly. He's lost about 8/10 of a second to Luz, almost 9/10 now, as he comes out of Variante Alta once again. Again, big story is Vapid's recovery here. Started 11th, currently in 5th. He's in 2nd place in the championship. His teammate leads the race at this point. As D-Ton looking for 3rd place now, round the outside. JB picks up 3 seconds for track limits. I think, was that Cray picking up 10 seconds as well for pit speed? I wonder. But D-Ton does get ahead, and now he's going to try and pull ahead. Vibes picks up 3 for track limits. This lap, the end of this lap, is going to mark the halfway point in this race. Lord James leads, Finn's in 2nd, and then it's an 8-second lead ahead of Deton, Angelo, Vapid, Luz, Vibes, and Tom Gorian in 8th place. Skullkiller and Kislesko round off the top 10 with Charlie just outside it. Into Variante Alta, difficult braking zone to get right because you want to try and carry as much speed as you can, and you've got the sausage curbs, those massive ones which can help you come through the corner, but you've got to be careful how you ride them because that can very easily knock you out of step. And Kirby picks up 3 seconds for track limits. Right, let's have a look at this battle here for 5th place, going all the way down to 9th, essentially 10th. As Luz is looking, he's closing ever so slightly on Vapid ahead of him, but that Ferrari has got much more power down that front straight as we stay on board with the Haas. Let's pop the telemetry on to see what sort of speeds we're looking at. Luz picks up 3 seconds for track limits. How slow is he going into Tosa? 4th gear, 64 miles an hour, back end loose. Opportunity for Vibes to close a smidge. I think he does just that, but unfortunately unable to capitalise. As Luz, just like that, picks up 3 seconds for track limits. Else in the first sector could be for Kirby, I want to say. I think it is for Kirby. RB in real life and in the game not doing too well, although in real life they're doing considerably better. They're 17th and 18th. JB just passed Sam for 16th place. Kirby 15th, Kesjar 14th. Those positions a little lower down as Finns once again pits for another set of tyres, fresh set of hard tyres. Could that pit stop have been a mistake early on in the race? I wonder. Yellow's in the 3rd sector. There's a car off track. Angelo picks up 3 seconds. His big regret from the previous 3 races was, of course, the picking up of the penalty. Kirby picks up 10 for speeding in the pit lane, as well as SK Tarrier gets past Rieslers. Kirby retires in the pit lane, first retiree of the night, and only took 18 laps out of 32 to get there, so we've still got 15 to go. Hurts like a bastard. It is after 9 o'clock, isn't it? Yeah. My arm hurts like an absolute bastard. Well, that's the result of going to the gym, anyway. So I should mention, I tend to try not to swear on stream until after 9 o'clock. Something that British TV does to a man. Vibes in the pits. We'll stay on board as he comes through the pit lane. Off the set of hards onto probably mediums. Well, exactly onto the mediums he goes. Let's have a look at this battle for second, as I'm going to try. It's going to be a bit of a long shot. No, I don't want that. I want to take a look at your party. Oh no, you're all still racing. Right, okay. Cool. I was going to try and get Kirby in for a driver interview, but I don't think he's in a party or willing to talk at this point in time. 19 to 32, 14 to go. As we're on board with Skullkiller. There's a lot of little battles going on as JB and Kesjar once again swap places. Elton who's officially retired from the session, and that's coming into Variante Alta. I wonder where that's going to leave him. He might try and come into the pit lane. He has now left the session officially. Skullkiller does get past Tom Gorian. There's a change for second place, as well as Angela does get past Deton. This could be a battle that could be going on for a good little bit. There's one DRS zone down here, and it's a very, very long one. Tom Gorian picks up 10 for speeding in the pit lane as well. Again, a hefty little penalty that the game's concocted, and that's the safety car coming out now. There's a Haas in the wall. I think that is Luz. Yes, he doesn't quite have a front wing. Now then, was that pit stop a mistake by Finns? I wonder. Into Rivatsa comes Lord James. He's on the hard tyres. He's been on those since the start, and he's going to come in for a fresh set of mediums. That is very good. I think a bit of a strategy screw up by Finns has, I don't want to say has given the race, or has it? Soft tyres. Interesting choice. As Vapid, of all people, who'd have thought, Vapid takes the lead of the race. He's on a set of hard tyres. Now he could possibly run those to the end, however unlikely it is. That's your tyres, how they're looking at this point in time. Obviously do bear in mind about the pit stops and whatnot. But that's interesting. Could he hold off Lord James for 12 laps? I wonder. Luz? What's happened there, buddy? Buddy. How has the game screwed you so badly that you've put on a set of intermediate tyres when it's absolutely baking here in Imola? Let me try and re-invite Kizlesko. Invite to mine. There we go. There we go. Kizlesko is back. Kirby. View gamer card. Is Kirby about? Don't know if he is. Don't fully know if he is or not. We're on 11 to go now. Vapid Lord James 1 and 2. Skullkiller 3, back where he was after that mistake that he made. Charlie 4. There's a couple of people that are actually in a really good spot here. Angelo Deaton, obviously. Luz is going to be pitting again, and if he doesn't, he'd be a madman. But he's not pitted. I mean, I know we're expecting rain later. But that doesn't mean you need to put on the intermediates now. They're going to be absolutely cooked. They're going to be fully baked at 180 degrees and served to you on a cake tray, cooked, once we get to it. So, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Vapid, as long as he can hold off Lord James for a couple of laps, assuming rain is going to come and it's going to be severe enough for change of tyres, looks in a pretty good position. Likewise for Charlie and Skullkiller. Keshiar isn't even in a bad position either. F1 New Zealand. What could have been, really? That extra pit stop was ever so unnecessary. I'm not fully sure why he did it. There we go. Sorry, I was just chatting with a friend of mine, and I was basically saying, what if F1 did a championship with all the circuits that it used to go to? Right. So, say for instance, they went back to Adelaide. They'd have to use obviously the current layout, right? They go to Sepang. You could possibly be looking at maybe Fuji. Maybe Mossport as well, up in Canada. One of the very many American circuits, probably Indianapolis. The current road course, Indianapolis, would be decent, I think. Just trying to think what UK track they pick. I think the best one to do. Well, they can only really go Donington there. But if they could pick any, I reckon they should go Snetterton. Snetterton's a decent track. Interesting turn 1 and 2 as well. As Lord James is behind, Vapid is ahead. Complete different order in the championship. Vapid is going to try and probably go as late as he can, as there's rain on the camera lenses with 9 to go as they cross the line. This is going to be incredibly close. Rain is in play as well. Who's going to be coming in for the pit stops this time around, or are they going to wait until it gets a little bit more severe? We were expecting rain, but I mean, hello, what a scenario that is giving it to us. Two Ferraris are fighting for the lead here. Does he go for a move? No, he doesn't. It's still Linus Stern, other than in 7th place, where Vibes got past Kesjar, as Skullkiller and Charlie go side by side with Angelo as well. Angelo's got the inside line into Villeneuve, so that's the advantage for the Red Bull. Question again, when do these guys come for brand new tyres? Lord James has taken the lead already and ran away by over a second and a half with fresh, warm, soft tyres in on his car as well. He's probably going to try and pull away and use that advantage as best he can. Luz ahead of Kesjar, so maybe those inters weren't quite as bad of an idea as I initially thought, although I do still think they are going to be absolutely toasting once they become good enough. I'm just going to try and send this more cars are coming into the pits as well. Vapid is in, Kislesko is in. We'll pop the tyre menu on for you as well. F1 New Zealand takes 3rd place away from Vibes. As now he comes up towards Villeneuve at 5 and 6, and it really is starting to chuck it down. Inters are going to be the best tyre in a couple of laps. Or are they the best tyre possibly now? It's going to be interesting to see. Luz is the only one to have pitted off of those dry tyres onto the wets during the safety car. So there's plenty of time. But the question is, how cooked are they? Because I can't imagine they're going to be in an all too good state of wear. That's a big question. Cars lost it. That's F1 New Zealand! Oh no! The man who was on pole position is struggling to get out of, what is that, first, second gear possibly? And needs to try and get into the pits because those dry tyres are no use now. He's last of the dry runners. He's going to be coming into the pits, so he's going to be at the very back. Too many mistakes by this man. Not only did he pit early for an unnecessary tyre change, but also that, what we just saw. Needs to at least try and keep it on the island. He's going to be coming into the pits. Skullkiller and Kislesko do the same. And Lord James is still running away on those soft tyres. Is he going to gamble to not pit onto a set of wet tyres possibly? I wonder. There's Alpine in the background. What could have been? What really could have been? He was absolutely in command and control of this race early on, along with his teammate. As there's plenty of changes of position. Vapid is in the lead of this pack of intermediate tyre runners. They're going to be catching up to the guys ahead of them. The question is, how much have they got time? It's safety car time! Once again, who's gone off track and where have they gone off track? I think they've gone off track through Tamburello, possibly? That safety car was called perfectly for someone like Angelo or Lord James. And Lux, I think, has also been saved by the bell. Because those tyres, I would have thought, are going to be pretty heavily worn by, 3 laps of running in completely dry conditions. Yes, under safety car, but still completely bone dry. I can imagine he comes into the pits for a brand new set of intermediates. Does he? No, he doesn't. He's going to inherit the race lead here early on in this wet portion. As we're on 7 or 6? 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 6 to go. There we go. Never sure. As away they go. Now, Vapid. Where's he going to be coming up once these guys peel out of the pits? This could be interesting. This could be mighty, mighty interesting here. He comes out in 4th place. Behind Angelo, behind his teammate, and behind the race leader, Luz, who pitted very, very early under the safety car for a set of intermediate tyres. Now we're under intermediate conditions. Everybody on a set of inters. This safety car is probably going to go on for at least another lap, possibly 2. So we're going to have 3, 4 laps. Green flag? Something along those lines. It's going to be very, very interesting. Do not go anywhere. Oh, well, I mean, there's an ad break going on at the moment. Luz, mind you, where is Luz in the championship? That's the calendar, that's the championship standings. Luz is currently not even on the championship standings. So if he can get a win, this will be big for his personal chances to at least get some points and get his team further up the board, which currently is in 9th place. It's Ferrari dominating. Mercedes 2nd, McLaren 3rd. McLaren doing very well. Kizlesko loves McLaren, and he's been doing quite well in that scene. Red Bull 4th, AMR 5th, RB in 6th, then Alpine 7th, Sauber 8th, Haas 9th, and Williams 10th. But all teams have got at least 2 points, up to 132 for Ferrari. So that's what's sort of in play. You can see the rooster tails coming off of the tyres of these cars. Absolutely, well, it's pretty damn wet here in Imola, in Italy. Now, I should add that I'm not here for the next 2 weeks after this, but we're going to have someone who's very, very competent. We're going to have Silverstone and Zandvoort, which is one hell of a pair of races, and I'll be back for the race in Monza. Can't wait to see that in play. Just finishing off my bottle of lemonade. Try and squeeze the bottle to get rid of all the air. And fun hack, if anybody is chance interested in recycling or anything like that, or recycles out of habit, If you squash your bottle with the cap open, obviously, to try and get as much air out of it as possible, create more space, you can put more stuff in there. A little bit of a possible life hack for you. Don't know if anybody quite knows about that idea or not. But it's still a very good thing. Right, safety car is probably going to be coming in at the end of this lap. So we're going to have 3-lap mad dash to the line. Luz now what he needs is to pull away from the penalty he's got, which he has. Oh, he's got 15 seconds. Right, that's not happening. So Luz could win it on the road, but realistically, he's not winning it on penalties. He needs to pull out by 5 seconds. Lord James is very, very good. We've seen it. He was second in the last qualifying session. He's won a few races this year already as well. We've only had 3. So, you know, he is a brilliantly speedy man. Dietrich Tom, interestingly enough, has a drive-through he's going to need to serve soon. It is going to be Lord James against Vapid, really, for the win, unless Angelo can pull away 3 seconds, but I don't know quite if he can. I think he might be in the middle of all of that, but will not be able to make any positions as right. Safety car is coming in this lap. We've got about 13, I think, kilometres to decide the race winner. 3 laps, 3 fun-filled, chaos-filled laps here in Imola. Cars are going too wide. This does kind of feel like an IndyCar restart. As we come around Rivazza for the final time, we're on board with Lord James. Luz is leaving it to the last possible moment. He's pulling away already. It's an opportunity for Angelo to possibly take the lead. He saw it at the exact same time as Lord James. The Ferrari was caught out. We're on board. Rizzler's getting past Charlie. Here comes Angelo. He's got a good drive. Can he make it around the outside of Tamburello? He's side by side now as he comes up the line. Kesjar is out. Possible contact, I think, with another car because he's down at turn 1 as they now come through into Tamburello. Not Tamburello, into Villeneuve. Oh, he's struggling, is Luz. He could take the win on the road here. But it does seem pretty unlikely. All things considered, this Ferrari has got a lot of pace. However, he is being hounded down by Angelo behind him. Vapid. Luz picks up another 3 seconds. So again, he's just vying for the win on the road at this point in time. Trying to keep Lord James behind. It is good practice in terms of defending. As F1 New Zealand does get past Charlie for 9th place. He's going to pick up a good few positions on penalties as well, so he could get a top 5 here, purely by virtue of the penalties that there are in play here as we come around Rivazza 2. 2 more laps to go here in Imola, lap 31 and 32, and here's Lord James. He's not going to take the win on the road anymore, is Luz, and that is a position gained by the Ferrari. But what about the other car behind him? The Red Bull tries down the inside contact, forces his way around the outside of that first corner, and he's going to take 2nd place at least for now. Problem a little bit on traction though. Could see around the outside of Villeneuve. It's a brave move to make, but contact, spin. Oh, thank God for ghosting, but oh my word, what's happened there? A little bit more contact as well. Tom Gorian has been involved in a spin. There's Vapid as well. Oh no, poor Vapid. Craig almost bashes into the back of him. As Tom Gorian is mighty slow up towards Tosa. All of the cars have sort of spread out a little bit. Well, other than these guys, Finns looks for a move into Aqua Mineral. He pushes Rizzler's a little bit deep. As there's Tom Gorian just trying to make his way through Pirotella now. Is what the yellow flag was about. There's a whole big queue here for, I think, third place vibes in third. I think realistically Angelo's got second and Skullkiller probably has third. So despite causing the first safety car, Skullkiller does take second place, at least at this moment in time. Or does he? You could be losing it to Fins here. As we're on board with that Alpine, he could be taking second place as the final lap has just commenced here in Imola. There's all sorts of cars really close, but there's this whole mid-pack. Sam in 9th place just got past Craig as well, but they're still two abreast. Craig off the track. Tom Gorian retires in the pit lane, as could be a possible investigation on Sam, as down the inside goes Tom Gorian. Not Tom Gorian, Vapid. Craig DNFs as well. Contact possibly with Luz. Oh, but again, if there hadn't been that mistake through Villeneuve by Luz, and if he'd possibly thought about giving up that position, it would have been a much better picture for him. There's a possible change to third place on the road as well, and he's going to pick up second in F1 New Zealand as he comes down into turn. Hello, whoa! Scything through is the other Alpine. Them two are side by side, but Lord James is going to be coming in to take the win here in Imola. Down into Ravazza, these guys are coming. They're not going to change positions, at least not on penalties. Through comes Lord James. He's going to take another win here in RFL. Angelo takes second, and SFR F1 New Zealand takes it right off him. Plenty of penalties are coming into play here, so I'm not saying who's going to finish where until they cross the line. Charlie 4th, Rizzler's in 5th place, Kozlowski 6th, Skullkiller in 7th place, unfortunate 4, and in Vibes 8, Vapid in 9th place. That's big. It's a big old hit for him. Sam 10th, JB 33 11th, Luz 12th, and Detron rounds that field in 13th place. Driver of the day's got to go, I think, to Angelo there. Brilliant middle and ending there, I think, for the Red Bull driver. See what the game says. Charlie did very well as well. I'm not going to say he didn't. I think I just saw a little bit more of Angelo, which is partly my fault. And partly my bad because I do commentary with him. But that's a whole different story. Well, what a chaotic race we've had here in Imola. Crashes, rain, multiple safety cars, mistaken strategies, and yet still a second place for the man that pitted early. So, you know, strategy mistakes can be recovered from. That's it for us here at International Paddock tomorrow. Masters at Spain. Next week, we're at Silverstone here with RFL. Very happy to be covering this race for you. I'm not here for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be in the Lake District and having fun at Notting Hill Carnival. But thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.